Hey everybody, it's your old pal Eddie Stevens here from Pico Rivera, California. And this is, if you watch a lot of my videos, you're going to see like the same outfit. This is the second video I do today. It is November 7, 2020. And I'm kind of going down memory lane a little bit with a couple of my basses that I haven't touched literally in years. They were just in a case in the storage. And the only thing I checked to make sure was the battery worked. And outside of that, I changed nothing. So the strings are old. I wanted to see what these things could do. This one I have literally not touched at least 5 years. At least. This is the Yamaha Trb1006. No, it is not the Patitucci, but it is what they start with to kind of make the Patitucci. So that's why it looks very similar. But it was a fraction of the cost for essentially the same thing, yeah? So why pay all that money if you don't have to? So this is a quilted maple top on alder body, maple mahogany neck with rosewood fingerboard, solid brass bridge, all stock. I don't change anything on my basses. Like I've mentioned in other videos, I did a mod job on one of my basses once and had very bad experiences. And not necessarily because I messed it up. I went through a few luthiers and it never was right. So I'm refusing to mod anymore. But if you like to mod, that's cool. I'm not hating. It's really simple electronics here in the preamp. It's a blend, volume, bass, mid, treble. There is no active passive feature on this. It's strictly active. And if you're getting a bass like this, you probably want to be active anyway. I've never think I've ever played a 6-string passive. It has 2 truss rods, because it's such a wide neck for a 6-string. I used to exclusively be a 6-string player because one of my old teachers, Pat Morvan, was a 6-string player. And, we like to pay homage to our teachers, yeah? 35-inch scale, 24 fret. And so I used to play this thing all the time, and I stopped. I started getting some other cool basses that you'll see on my channel. But this one I might end up selling. It's got a little emotional attachment. I think I've had this bass since probably 2006, maybe, so 14 years, long time. Again, did not change the strings, probably needs a neck adjustment, but I just want to see what it would do. So this should be, yes, it is flat. All right. That's why it needs a neck adjustment. I can't get that. Yeah, it's just like a typical Yamaha. If you've ever had a Yamaha bass, they always just have this certain quality of how they sing on the top end, especially on a 6-string. It's like I don't want to say they perfected the 6-string, but they sure worked at it. Probably thanks to John Patitucci, I'm imagining, and John Myung. I have a 6-string fretless. It was the old John Myung signature. So there you go. That one I'll never sell. But this is really cool. It is a very wide fingerboard. I used to call it the aircraft carrier. But if you're used to it, you're used to it. Let's try a little bit of treble boost and bass boost. It does get a little dirty, but if you're going to add bass on anything, that's pretty normal. Let's take the bass back to flat and just leave the treble boost up. So it's cool. It sings, man. I'll do a little bit of mid scoot, like take some mids out. I'm not usually a fan, but you'll see what it sounds like. This is not all the way out, but about halfway out. I'm not even going to go further than that because you can just tell you lose the whole body of the tone. Just like on another video of another bass, you'll hear me say that. I wouldn't cut the mids on the bass if I didn't have to. I usually use a Gensman's head, and they all have mid-boost cut and a mid-sweeper. So I would look for the specific frequency that's like just not vibing in the room and adjust that on the amp. I would leave the bass flat in the mid-register. I'll do some bridge. Not bad, but you do start to hear a little buzz. There's supposed to be hum canceling, but you still do hear a little bit. Let's go to neck. So way different tonality, and that neck pickup almost gave somewhat of a slight, maybe almost P bass-ish, you know, that little bit of mid growl. But it's cool. I usually just stay straight up. Very rarely do I change my pickup setting, especially live. I'm more of a live player, so I would leave it with both pickups up. I feel like that's kind of how they design the basses, is what you're supposed to have, but to each their own. Now, the one time on this bass that I do remember always going to the bridge pickup was when we do a song by Sade, and it had that Nathan East bass solo in. Let it roll it back. And go right back into my regular tone. Of course, that was Smooth Operator by Sade that has that little bass solo in the middle, or bass interlude, if you will. That's the only time I ever really changed. So this is the Yamaha Trb1006. I do have a lot of emotional attachment to it. I always loved how the Quilted Maple top looked with the blood red color, but I think I will be passing this on to a new home. So if anyone's interested, holler. It is November 7th, 2020, so I'll probably start putting this out there soon. All right, guys, it's EddieStevensMusic.com, Eddie, STEPHENS Music.com. Thanks so much for viewing, guys. You're going to see a few more videos coming up here fairly soon because I have some new basses coming in for once, finally. Thank you, 2020. All right, guys, blessings, and we'll see you soon.